Hey, welcome back to Mr. CZ Bike. Today I'm going to get the first ride video of the Movcan V60 on. The first video I put up, which was the assembly video, I accidentally said that this was a 46 volt battery. It's definitely a 48 volt, 15.6 amp hour battery. And that's paired with a 1000-watt rear motor. I believe the controller is at least a 21 amp controller, which would put the output to the rear motor to just over 1,000 watts at nominal voltage. And this is a 7-speed. It's a 1x7, 1 speed up front. You got 7 gears in the back. It's a Shimano shifter with a Shimano derailleur. It's got cable-driven brakes, which the little bit that I've rode it stops just fine. I'll see more while I'm out on the road. And then this bike is good for 30 miles an hour and should be able to go, I think they said it was 35 miles on throttle only, which seems about right. I mean, as long as you're not going 30 miles an hour for the whole 35 miles. And it's got a USB plug at the bottom of the controller. You get pedal assist 1 through 5. And that's pretty much all there is to say, other than you get a few extras on this bike. When the headlight is off, you get the halo light. So you're still visible even if you have your headlight off and it's getting dusk and whatever. And then you turn the headlight on and it's nice and bright. And in the headlight is the horn. Let me turn this on, which is nice and loud and get out of my way. And the tail light is a tail light brake light with directionals, which you don't get on a lot of bikes. And this is a full suspension bike. And the last Movcan I got, it was hard to get to this adjuster to adjust your rear suspension. This one, that's right there. You can get your whole hand wrapped around it. And if I forgot anything and you want more information, just leave a comment down below. I'll try to answer all your questions. And I'll get out on the road and see how this thing handles. All right, out here where I always start out the bike, just because it's got the, I don't know if you can see it, it's got the washboard type road out here. So it tests out the suspension on the bike. I started it with the all-wheel drive off-road bikes that were meant for that. I don't know if this one's really meant for it, but it's full suspension, so, and it's supposed to be for light trails, so it shouldn't have a problem. And this bike I've got set up for PAS 0 through 5. See how it goes from 1 and 2 is eco, 3 and 4 is normal, and then 5 is sport. You don't really feel it pick up until you hit 3. And of course 0. So we'll start out in 1. It's got the pickup right off the bat and then slows down. It's like the other Movcan bike, it wants to do a wheelie right off the start. 2 is up to 9. 3 is where you start feeling it really kick in. I mean, it's not a whole lot of torque getting you up to top speed, but it's a decent amount. I mean, it's not a slouch, and it's doing really well in the sand. Some of the bikes, when you hit the deep sand, your front tire starts to snowplow, and you really gotta fight in order to stay upright. This, just like the Movcan V30, just goes right through. Not quite hitting 30 miles an hour out here, but the bumps and the sand really slow you down. See, there's 30. So I'm keeping it in pedal assist 5. And up here where I get to the hill, I'll stop and do a hill climb test. So I'll put this down a little bit. Top speed in 4 is 22 miles an hour, which is a nice slow cruising speed. A little bit of saving your battery. I'm going to go through. I got almost 52 volts under load. Currents now is kicking around 10 amps. I guess I'll put it in pedal assist 5 to see how much this hill slows me down from 30 miles an hour. When I say it tries to do a wheelie off the start, it doesn't mean that you got to be careful not to flip over or anything. It's just that if you start pedaling and hit the throttle, there's a chance that front wheel's going to come up. 27 miles an hour up the hill, 26. And now I'm going to start getting speed built back up. I'm almost hitting 30, 31, 30, almost 32 going downhill. The shoulder starts to narrow. All the trucks are heading to the highway or coming off the highway. Because right here we got a main highway behind me and in front of me. And this is the only stop for 50, 60 miles in either direction. Could really use a bike lane. This isn't going to be a test on to see how many miles I can get out of the bike. It's more just, is the bike capable? Is it comfortable? How well does it do in all this deep sand? isn't as torquey as the all-wheel drive bikes, but it may be a little bit more fun on these lighter trails. There is the amount of road noise from the tires that you would expect. I mean, they're not overly loud, but they're not quiet either. Yeah, I slow down for each one of these intersections because there's not one stop sign on any of the four corners. .9 volts. This does feel a little bit smaller than the V30. I feel like I'm right at the edge of the seat where it starts to go up. I mean, I'm not hanging off the seat or anything, but right at the edge. I'm starting to learn these trails out here. So here's some really deep sand. Even turning in it, it's fine. This is the road where I normally do my speed runs, just because it's a nice long stretch. There's hardly ever any traffic on it, and for some reason the wind either is running right in my face or right behind me. But this bike hits top speed so easily, I don't really think there's a need for a speed run. It says it goes 30 miles an hour. I think it's got more than that, but that's where they limit it. I'll do it anyway. It's 23. I mean, it doesn't get there quickly, but it seems like, I mean, it does it easily. You know what I'm saying? There's 33, yeah, 30.3 miles an hour. And I got a little bit of a headwind. So I like the bikes that don't go, if you weigh 100 pounds and you're going downhill with a wind speed of 60 miles an hour at your back, the bike will go this fast. And then you buy it and you have trouble ever reaching that speed. Which most bikes don't, but some of them do. The way I'm riding this bike, 20 miles is probably about what I'll get, just because I'm heavy on the throttle and all the sand. I mean, even bumps affect how far you're going to get. So every time you hit the bump, it slows you down a little bit, and your battery tries to push and recover that speed. thinking I should have softened the suspension up a little bit before I went. Plus, I always over-air my tires. I'm not positive how much pressure I have in my tires, but I guarantee you it's over 15 pounds. It's probably 17. It's hitting 22 amps. I hate waiting at intersections, especially when it's hot out. If you want, go and check out my heat wave video, where it was 124, 126 degrees. I'm just sitting there sweating at red lights in town. That was horrible. My cameras kept overheating, and I had to keep switching them and putting them back with my drink, because my drink had ice in it in my bag to cool the cameras back down. And then 15 minutes later, my next camera would quit. I had to swap them back, which made it for a really weird video. See how the kids like it. Try out my cruise control. Nope, maybe that's not how you turn it on this way. Usually, you push the minus button. The plus button is the headlight, which isn't connected to the screen, so it's not actually the headlight. See, on your turn, you hit the throttle. If you're anything over PSA 3, you gotta watch it. Because it lightens up the load on the front tire from the torque from the back tire to get less traction. Man, this wind is killing me. But if I could just get the cruise control to come on, I think I had to go into the menu and set it before I started. I'm guessing. Anyways, I guess my cruise control's off, so I can't take my hands off the handlebars and see how far this thing will go. But it feels really steady. I mean, even in the sand. And I think most of these bikes are nimble just because it's got oversized tires and a short, heavy frame. So if you're deciding between the Movcan, I don't know. This one, if you're over 6 feet tall, get the V30. If not, it just really comes down to which frame style do you like, and is that extra 2 miles an hour worth getting this one, or do you like this frame? And even if it wasn't faster, I don't know. I'm just here to tell you about the bikes, not to tell you which one you want. See, and me swerving back and forth like that also affects your battery. I don't know if you can hear the motor and the tires. Every time I dip into the turn, it puts more strain on, well, the tires and the motor. Yeah, I don't know where this goes. Speed limit is 15 miles an hour. Which is nice and relaxing. Unless I see some good sized bumps up ahead where I can get off the ground. See, I started out wanting the biggest, baddest, all-wheel drive off-road bike I could find. Then when I started, I tried to do a video for the people that didn't have a lot of money, or just for their kids, So I tried to find the best bike I could find, the best you could get for under $1,000, and that's when I found the Movcan. And while I was watching them or looking for the Movcan, I was tempted to raise my price and go to $1,500 because I really like this bike, and this bike's $1,700. And no, the bike is not for me. It's for people that can't spend over $1,000. Because I mean, people say under $1,000 you can't get anything. That's cheap. That's whatever. But I mean, if what you have is $500, $600, $800, that's what you can spend. I mean, I'm right there with everybody. That's, I mean, I don't have $3,000, $4,000 in the bank to say, hey, I want this bike. I've got to save for everything I get. But anyways, trying to get the best bike I could get for under $1,000, that's when I found the Movcan. And I'm really happy I did. When I was trying to find the cafe style racer, dirt bike, whatever you want to call it, bike. And I really like them. It's going from every time I got on my bike, I felt like I got to beat the crap out of myself and the bike, to this thing that, and the other Movcan, it's a nice, calm, easy ride. I mean, even if you're going 30 miles an hour down the road, everything's under control. You're comfortable. So, I mean, if I was going to buy a bike and I was going to ride it to work, or I was going to ride it to the grocery store, or just to get across town, I mean, I would pick, actually, I think I would pick the V30, because like I said, I'm a little tall for this bike. But if it wasn't for that, I mean, I would pick one of these two bikes over the $2,500 bike I've got at home. It's a little bit faster, but these are so comfortable. So if you're gonna get something to save miles and gas and whatever on your car, I think pick one of these Movcans. Because, I mean, yeah, the all-wheel drive, more expensive bikes are better out in the dirt and going out through stuff like that. But these things are nice, easy, get you where you're going bikes. The only problem for me is the town I gotta go to if I use it for anything is 7 miles down the highway. Which, I don't know, I haven't taken the Movcan down there yet. Which, like I said, the one I prefer because of my size, I haven't gotten the good battery for. And plus that's 14 miles and my trip is just highway at full throttle. So I may need to bring one of the extra batteries with me. Oh, I can go faster here. Get to talking, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm going to get run over by a car. But anyways, if you're thinking about a bike to get you from point A to point B, but you don't want to work hard, you don't want to be all hunched over, try one of these two Movcans. I know I was rambling around for a while, but it's either that or I just ride in silence. I don't know why people watch these videos. I mean, if you get some kind of enjoyment out of watching the videos with nobody talking, that's great. I just don't understand it. Now let me bring this thing through some deep sand and drop the battery now. It's under load, so it looks like it's less than it is. It's probably about half. See how well it goes up this hill? And slowing it down quite a bit more. So now if I wasn't doing the test, I'd be pedaling right now, but that's only really a test of how well I can pedal uphill. At 21 miles an hour. That's still not bad. Let's see where the battery is. Voltage, I'm still at 40 47.7. So I'm just under nominal voltage now. And like I said, the wind picked up and it's killing me now. This guy's been here for, I don't know, 2 weeks. He's got his cones out so people don't hit him. But he's pushing the bikes out into traffic. What? Jeez. Alright, so how far did I go? Went 8.5 miles through a bunch of deep sand at almost full throttle all the way, and got about half the battery left. So yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, if I could get another 8 miles, I could probably go another 10-12 miles if I stayed on the road, and this would have been 12-13 miles if I stayed on the road and kept it about 25 miles an hour. So yeah, I can see this. If you're in the city and riding around and you're not full throttle all the time, I can see this going 35 miles. Alright, and I think I'm gonna end my video here. And like I said, this wasn't a video on how far I could get. I'm just out here checking it out. And like I said, even in the deep sand, this is nice and nimble and sticks to the road. A couple of those little dips, my front tire was up in the air. It'd be a fun little trail bike. But where it would shine is a city bike. Transportation, get to work, whatever. But it's completely capable of light trails. And it's fun. Whoa. Alright, this is the end of the video, and like I said, I've got half a battery. I did almost 10 miles. And that was in crap like this. You know, I can't show you. Sometimes the helmet cam isn't the right cam. But anyways, I'm in deep sand for the most part. Got almost 10 miles. So, I mean, in the city, on pavement, I mean, even almost at full throttle on pavement, you could probably do like 30 miles. Because I haven't pedaled at all. And most people that buy these types of bikes aren't gonna pedal, so. And plus, like I said, if I'm pedaling along, that's only really gauging how much I can pedal. Alright, that's enough rambling. Back for my final thoughts. Alright, when Movcan offered me another bike, I completely expected to just fall in love with it. I mean, well, maybe not fall in love with it, but really like it. And this doesn't disappoint. I found another use for this little handle back here. But the bike is what it says it is. It does what it says it'll do. It says 30 miles an hour. It gets up to 30 miles an hour, no problem. They said 35 miles on throttle only. And I think even with me being 220 pounds, if I was on pavement going along anything other than full throttle all the way, this thing would carry me 35 miles. If I wanted to baby it and still not pedal, I bet you it would go further than that. But I don't know, I like it. It's comfortable. And like I said, if you're, well, taller than me, I'm 6'2", and I feel that I'm right at the back end of the seat. Maybe if I move the handlebars further forward, but then it wouldn't be as comfortable. But if you're over 6'2", or even if you're over 6 foot, maybe get the V30. But I mean, for what, 90% of the people out there that are under 6 foot, this is a nice bike, and it'll be nice and comfortable. Let me get this out of the way. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I feel that I'm a little bit big for the bike. But I mean, if you're buying a bike for your teenage son or daughter to ride to school, or like I said, if you're buying a bike to replace some of the miles on your car, this is perfect. I mean, well, like I said, if depends if you like this frame style or if you like the V30 frame style. That's really just a preference. They're both nice, easy bikes that do what they say they're going to do. I don't know how else I can put it. So I'm going to have more videos coming up on both of the bikes. As long as the weather holds out, that'll just be what depends on how fast they come out. And I'll have more videos out on all-wheel drive 2,000 watt bikes, if that's more your style. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss them. Thanks for watching.